Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Creative Mornings session. My name is Katja Giri. I'm the host of Creative Mornings Munich, and I'm super excited about the session that we're going to dive in today. Why is that? The theme of the session of this month is stress, which is an interesting choice for the month of August that is usually supposed to be, more relaxed month. But we have an amazing speaker coming up, and I think he's going to inspire us all about stress in general during the summer or for the months that are going to come in a few weeks. Now, before we go into the topic of the month, I would just like to say a few quick words about what Creative Mornings is. For those who may be joining us for the first time and are not as familiar with the concept yet. Meanwhile, I hope you got yourself some coffee, even maybe some breakfast, so that you can go through the session in the best of the ways with the Creative Mornings energy. Why Creative Mornings energy? Because over 10 years ago, when the Creative Mornings started back in the US, in New York, the idea was namely this: bringing creative people together around free coffee and breakfast to get inspired by a speaker about a certain topic. This was so well received. It was taking place on a monthly basis that a lot of people around the world wanted to do the same thing. So Creative Mornings started from New York, going and spreading around the whole world. And today we are present in over 200 cities, we call them chapters, in over 60 countries, which means just an amazing, huge, beautiful, creative community around the world. Here in Munich, we're gathering once a month, and we have a team of amazing volunteers who are making sure that on a monthly basis we can deliver engaging, interesting, inspiring talks to you guys. Even now in this virtual environment, which has changed the whole thing a little tiny bit, but we're trying to make sure that the inspiration on a last Friday morning in the month keeps going, and that you guys are not missing the normal in-person gathering as much as we do, actually, to be honest. Okay, so I would just like to say quick thanks to our global sponsors who are making sure that we can actually keep going and keep doing our work, namely MailChimp, WordPress, and Basecamp. And I would like to share a few great offers that our global sponsors have prepared for you. So MailChimp, you probably know it already. They have actually introduced the virtual book festival. It's called By the Books, and they feature a collection of emergent voices. So we're going to share the link here so that you can check it out. It's really interesting. You're most probably gonna like it. WordPress has an interesting project going on that you probably have heard about already. It's called Own Your Content series, and as part of this great project, we talk with amazing creators about really interesting creative topics. So this is also something that you may want to check out for some further inspiration. And last but not least, Basecamp, the grade management tool, they have recently launched a new email providing tool called Hey, and you guys can try it out for 2 weeks free of charge. So just follow the link here in the chat as well. Apart from the global sponsors, I would also like to say a humongous thanks to our local sponsors who are really making sure that we can bring those events to you on a monthly basis, namely Spinning Wheel and Riva Photography, so that we can actually have these virtual talks in an amazing quality. I'm saying big thanks as well to Raphael Schildgen, who is coaching the speakers to deliver the most engaging talks. Big thanks this month also goes to Zina Schrader, who is our host location for the Q&A session today. So thank you very much, guys, for hosting us. And then, of course, thank you to the local team as well of volunteers who are really going out and beyond to make sure that we communicate, that we improve our experiences. So thank you so much. Speaking of the experiences, We would love to hear from you and hear how you like our virtual experiences. They're very different from the in-person meetings, definitely, we know that, but we would like to just understand how you like them, if you have any troubles, if you have any suggestions for improvement. So I'm sharing here the link of the survey. It's super short. It's literally gonna take you 2 minutes, not even. We would highly appreciate your feedback, so that we can keep improving and make sure that we deliver great talks to you guys. Last but not least, we love seeing our posts about you watching the talks of Creative Mornings on the social networks. So don't hesitate to tag us, so that we spread the word to your friends, to your communities, and we would be happy to repost them on our channel. So if you feel like it, take your cup of coffee, the computer, phone, whatever your whatever tool you're using to tune in, and share it on social networks. We would be happy to see this. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce the speaker of the month, Charly, who is going to share with us really interesting insights about stress. And this time we took a special spin to the topic. So he's not going to be in a studio. He's actually waiting for us on the streets of Munich. So let's see what Charly has prepared for us for the theme of stress. Charly, the stage is yours.
In terms of success, what everybody sees is the beautiful relationship you have, the flat you live in or the car you drive. But what nobody sees are all those sleepless nights where you stayed awake just to hustle on your business and to work in every hour. All the barbecues which need to be postponed to another year. In my case as a dating coach, I started a couple of years ago with YouTube videos. And I still remember when I was standing here at exactly this place. It was in November, it was cold. The cold ice wind blew into my face and I had two thoughts in my mind. Should I quit or should I continue? And I'm still grateful for my mentor, who is on my side since a couple of years. And he taught me one thing: hard work always pays off. But all that hustle creates stress in your body. And what I discovered was there are two different kinds of stress. One that just sets you on fire, who makes you feel alive, where everything seems to click, the positive one. It's called eustress. On the other hand, you have the stress which just paralyzes you, the negative one, who raises your blood pressure and you just makes you feel uncomfortable as hell. And the difference between successful people and average people is not that either or the other have more or less stress. The difference is the approach they have to approach exactly this amount of stress. It sounds like a trivial topic, but this year already 9,000 people died in Germany because of Corona. But only last year there died 50,000 people because of distress in the form of a heart attack. So it's not only unhealthy, it's also dangerous. But today I'm not here to talk about health. I'm here to give you a skill. Just imagine you could proactively turn distress into eustress. What impact that would have on your life, on the job you have, on the relationship you have. In my case as a dating coach, I discovered a couple of things. So just imagine you go on a date, and there are two different scenarios. The first, you want to go on a date and you just, oh my God, you're pressured. You feel pressure, you're excited. What should I wear? What should I say? Should I kiss her? Should I not kiss her? Where do we meet? And so on and so forth. The second scenario, you're just looking forward to the date. You're wearing your favorite perfume, your favorite shirt, and you're just looking forward to a nice day or nice evening. So wouldn't it be nice to turn proactively distress into eustress? Over the last several years, I worked with a lot of men. And don't worry, ladies, before that I worked with a lot of women too. And what I discovered was that most people don't even follow their own goals and dreams anymore. They follow the dreams and goals of somebody else. And that's not what we meant for. So what I want for you and for my coaches as well is to be free in life, to follow your own goals, to commit to something and just go for it. And one way to do that is by turning distress into eustress. Of course, there are several ways to do that. But one way, in my opinion, the fastest way to turn distress proactively into eustress is by putting yourself out there and desensitize yourself against this stress. And again, there are many ways to do that. But one way to do this, and my favorite way, is by doing it through comfort zone challenges. The first challenge I did, and I still remember it, was giving strangers a compliment. And I was afraid, and that's normal, because back in the days, and I mean really back in the days, it was quite dangerous just to approach strangers, because if you say something wrong, you could have died. So I still remember, I went to a stranger and just gave him a compliment. Like, hey, I just saw you have a nice shirt, have a great day. And I repeated it. And what I discovered was, it wasn't that hard. It actually started to make fun. And 80% of the people I approached, they were positive about it. And of course, who doesn't like to get a compliment? 19%, they were just neutral, didn't know what to say. And just 1% told me like, hey, just get off. So if you start to do exactly this, what you will discover is that it can make fun. And again, you have this stress and oysters here. Before that, you feel this stress, this pressure who paralyzes you. But after you did the first couple of approaches and just made compliments, you just feel better and alive. And you kind of have a freedom just to express yourself against strangers. And again, what you can see here is, if you do exactly this, how will that affect your relationship or even your job? Oh, and just imagine you could approach the women or man of your dream. So I still remember when I wanted to approach a girl, a woman I liked, I just walked behind her for 200 meters. And then I just approached like, oh, excuse me, I saw you and I wanted to say hi. And I made a challenge out of that as well. So I went into Berlin with a friend and I approached 20 women and just asked them directly out for a date. And that was funny because again, 10 of them, they said, no, I have a boyfriend, whatever. 5 of them, they said, man, you just made me a huge compliment because I'm still active on the dating market. And 5 of them said yes. 3 of them gave me the number and 2 of them went out with me on a direct date. So what I discovered here again was all this distress, this pressure in me when I was approaching women, like, oh my God. And after I approached them and I just got positive feedback or even a date, it was like the weight of the world dropped off my shoulders. And so again, I'm free to express myself, to go to the man or woman of your dreams and just approaching them and asking out for a date. And again, I turned distress proactively in eustress. The next one will be quite tough. So just imagine you're sitting in the subway. You're just sitting there checking your phone, scrolling to your feed on Instagram, and out of nothing, somebody starts to sing a song. So you look up, oh, there's somebody singing. Back to your phone because it's more interesting. Isn't that stressful, is it? But just imagine you lost a bet, and the bet is to sing in the subway. And of course, what other people think of us creates a lot of stress in us. So just imagine you're walking down the stairs to the subway. You're standing there, maybe with your friends, who are just filming you. And you're standing there and you're waiting until the train comes. So the train comes into the station. It stops, the door opens, the people get out, you get in, the door closes, and it's just silence. And you look back to your friends, and they're expecting to sing, that you sing now. So you start to sing. Like, Mama told me, and some people look at you, it's embarrassing for you. And they look down back to their phones. So you keep singing, and it's a lot of pressure in you, a lot of distress in you. And the next station comes, the door opens and you just leave. And you're out, you just leave the station. And what you feel now is that all this distress, this pressure was created in you, just turns in eustress. And you will just feel alive. And what I discovered was that after those challenges, I quite felt free for the next couple of days. It was easier to approach strangers, it was easier to do all my work. But of course, then that won't stay for long. So again, you have to do these things again and again. And what I discovered is that there are 2 different kinds of momentum. One is micro momentum, one is macro momentum. Micro momentum is that one which fires the train up. So you need to push really hard at the beginning. Macro momentum is once the train is rolling, you just need to put a little bit of coal or wood into it every couple of hours. So to create micro momentum, it could be challenges you do every day. Means, so if you start your day, you could go into the subway and make strangers a compliment. Even if you walk out of here, out of wherever you are and watching this talk here, you could go out there and just make strangers a compliment. On the other hand, it could be something in your job. Next time somebody asks who wants to do the product presentation, just say me. Next time, if you're in a wedding and somebody asks for a toast, just say me. I also remember when I did my first toast on the wedding of a friend of mine. I wasn't prepared, but I knew if I just do this, I can manage to put all this distress in me into eustress again. And I did this toast and it was quite wonderful. And once you reach this macro momentum level, you're just freer in your day. You can express yourself freer, and maybe next time you see a woman or man of your dream, you can just go there and approach them. So what I want for you is to become really free by expressing yourself. So you would like to do all these challenges for yourself. And yes, it can be tough. Yes, it can be quite challenging for you. But what everybody can do after watching this talk and leaving for lunch break or whatever is go out there and give 3 strangers a compliment. And if you're single and you see the man or woman of your dreams, just go there and tell them about this weird guy with a red beard and this talk and ask him out for a date. What is it that you can lose? So thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Hey guys, before you put all the questions in the feed, I'd just like to add something on the talk. So first, don't stress yourself too much about turning distress into eustress. That's a process. So I'm still in the process, and I need a couple of years for myself to be able to proactively manage to turn distress into eustress. But there are a couple of things I want to give you which works really well. So first, look at your body language. If you're stressed, you may change your breath. You may change your body language. You may sit there like this, like, oh my God, I can't manage it. So on the opposite, if you are like relaxed, you can approach that better. So for example, just try to put your shoulders back. Take a deep breath in and out. To put your head up and just start over again. So for me, that works really well. Like even if I'm nervous, I just take a couple of breaths, I change my body language, I lean back, and I'm able to turn distress again into eustress. Next thing, try to have fun with it. I'm a serious person, seriously. So that's good because that allows me to manage a lot of things in my day. But sometimes I'm too serious. And for example, my girlfriend, she's like way more easier with things. So she always has fun with things. So sometimes it's not bad to try to have fun in things you're doing. Just make a joke, just fool around with your mates, workmates, with your partner, doesn't matter. And I'm not sure, but if there are any entrepreneurs or salespeople out there, you may know the situation. For example, you want to call a new customer or even do like cold approach callings. So you just pick up the phone, you're nervous. Oh my God, what should I say? What should I do? So again, try exactly this. Relax your body position. Take a deep breath. Not the shallow breath, the short breath, like a deep breath. Like put a smile on your face. And then just start to dial the number, and if the person picks up, say, hey, I'm Bob and I'm just doing that. And for me as a dating coach, of course, if you go on a date, so same thing. Don't be that nervous. Don't go there like, hey, I'm nervous for a date. That's a date. It's supposed to be fun. Just relax. Just breathe. Just work with your voice and say, hey, I'm Charlie and I'm looking forward to meeting you. It's nice to meeting you. So that's a couple of things I wanted to add. And every question you have, just put it in the feed and I will answer it later in Facebook. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Charlie, for this talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you for being here with us. We will host the next session in September. so the last Friday in September, and the topic is going to be spectrum. So quite interesting. I hope I will be seeing you there. Before we go, just a quick reminder, in case you haven't heard of it yet, that we have started the Pretzel, the Munich Creative Mornings podcast, where we take the talks to another level. We sometimes dig a little bit deeper in some parts that were mentioned during the talk, or even go beyond what was said in the Creative Morning session. So in case you haven't checked it out yet, we are going to share the link in the newsletter, so don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And otherwise, I'm wishing you an amazing end of August, an amazing beginning of September, and see you in a month. Bye guys, happy Friday!